I've learned in the last maybe year or so how I can win every time. Stay tuned how. I learned in the last year or so how I can win every time. Stay tuned if you want to find out how. Hey, listen, we all have problems. We all have personal problems. We have work problems. We might have just problems that we create in our head. And I've learned just in the last year that I created problems in my head where I felt like I needed to win. Okay, I'll give you an example. Maybe a problem at work. So let's say I have a problem at work. My problem is I have this target to meet and I didn't meet it, or it's very dicey as to if I can meet it for the month. Um, Instead of feeling like I lost when at the end of the month I haven't made that target, instead of feeling like I've lost whatever it is that I lose, whether it's pride or lost a challenge, maybe I lost the ability to make a commission, whatever your reward system is, instead of feeling like I've lost, I actually try to find a way to learn. Because if I take that month and figure out what did I do in this month that could have caused me not to make that target. This is just like a sample problem, guys, okay? Could be anything. But let's just continue on. So, what can I learn from maybe the time I spent on trying to make my target? What can I learn about, how I was feeling? That's a lot. Actually, when I start to take a look at how I was feeling, it affected my work. So instead of feeling bad at the end of the month, I choose to find out what happened. And then when I've determined what happened or what could have happened, I win, right? I win because I've learned something. I can't do anything about the fact that I didn't make that target. The time has passed, it's gone now, right? But I can still choose to think about how I think about it, right? So instead of feeling down and out about myself and feeling like I've lost, I actually try to find a way to make it feel like a win. If I can provide a personal example, I know that's a work example, but let's kind of stick to, why I'm here in the first place. I'm Irene, your financial advocate. So one of the things that I never really thought about was how I spent my money. How I spent my money. I would feel guilty about how I overspent my money. And I would just continue to feel guilty and ashamed and guilty and ashamed. And every month I wouldn't have enough and I'd live paycheck to paycheck. And I've come to this point where I'm not doing that anymore because I actually decided to take a look at what I was doing. And I've learned something about myself. I've learned that on Fridays, I'm a lot happier. So I tend to spend more money. Like that's how minuscule I got to the point of realizing, when do I spend the most money? It seems to be Fridays or Saturdays even. Okay, so what do I spend money on? Food. It's always food. Going out or shopping. Shopping is another thing, right? That's a different kind of win that I have. Anyways, so food. Well, I know that I enjoy eating out. I enjoy eating out. I enjoy eating out with people that I like to spend time with. I like going to movies. And that's always going to happen on a weekend when I'm off. So what can I learn so that I don't feel guilty about it anymore? What can I do? Because I'm not going to stop this thing that makes me happy, obviously, but there is a way to kind of rein in what I'm doing so that I don't feel guilty about wanting to do it. And what I've learned is I spend typically anywhere between $30 to $50 a week on this kind of stuff. So what if I put in my budget that I'm going to give this to myself, $30 to $50 a week on eating out. See, because I learned that I like to spend money on food or going out on the weekends about myself, and I'm not going to stop that, I can at least control that. So when I go out to eat with a friend, okay, and maybe I limit myself to going out once a week because I don't need to go out every day on the weekend. I don't, anyways. You might, right? But budget that in. But when I go out for brunch with, my friend, and we already know where we're going, I will look at the menu of that restaurant and try to look at their prices and see, well, what would I feel like eating when I go out? This could be like days or weeks before I even go out. And I try to see, okay, so I might spend money on this because, I already know what I like to eat, right? I know that at the time I may not be in the mood for that, but at least I can gauge. I can gauge, what I might kind of like habitually choose. That includes a drink, right? Like my coffee. Wow, $4 for coffee. Okay, well, I know I like coffee. I'm not going to stop buying coffee. So $4, okay. And then I budget in the tip and the tax. So I already know that I'm going to go for brunch with my friend and I'm going to spend $40. I actually put that in my budget. So A, I'm not going to overspend because that is my budget for that week. And B, I'm not going to feel guilty. And this is all from learning something about myself. So I don't feel like I lost anything. I didn't lose $40 or $30, whatever I said. I didn't lose that. I'm not going to feel guilty. I didn't lose any kind of self-esteem. I won. I won because I learned something. I feel like you win when you learn. You win when you learn. So if you always find a way to learn something, you're always going to win. I hope you got value from that today. I hope it inspired you to really take a closer look at whatever you feel a loss for, whether it's work or your relationships or anything finance. And I hope you got value from this. So like, comment, subscribe, share this video with someone that you think would get value from this. I got you all. Have a great day.